rolling now. Road to Ironman, episode 1. So, how did we get here? So it's been a bit of a journey over the years. So my background for many years, for 13, 14 years, was rugby. Did it all my childhood, eat, sleep, breathed it to a pretty decent level, sort of academy level. Through injuries, stepped away from the game, and I've always had that competitive edge within me. I used to love the gym side of it, the fitness side, the game day. Eventually, like I say, I had to step away from it. For quite a period of time, I struggled with that, that losing that sort of sense of purpose, not knowing exactly who I was, feeling a bit lost, was quite self-destructive beyond that, in terms of, I'd obviously train hard, party hard, play hard. I didn't really know who I was for probably a good year or so, which is quite hard. Didn't know which direction I wanted to go into. Fast forward, now 7, 8 years later, fitness, is still, a massive part of my life. Being a personal trainer, coach, I've been privileged to help hundreds and hundreds of people over the years. Last year, I did my first marathon, which, don't get me wrong, was absolutely brutal, but I loved every part of it. I loved the development, the progression, learning stuff about myself, doing something really hard. I think everyone should do that at some point. It doesn't have to be a marathon, but you should push yourself to see what you're capable of. And Chester, definitely a bit of an eye-opener. So I struggled with that in terms of the preparation for that, with a couple of injuries and whatnot. I think a few people get that, sort of going into the running, the endurance world. I was always very fit when I played rugby, but it's a whole different kettle of fish. I'm definitely not a talented endurance athlete. I've got to work quite hard. I'm a little bit like a brick, and I've got to sort of fit myself into it as much as I can. But yeah, Chester was definitely an eye-opener. Loved it. Came in 3:49, and yeah, last 6 miles, as in any marathon, was absolutely brutal. But I wanted more. Finished it. Couldn't actually walk or run for a bit of a time period after it as well. I decided I wanted to do a half Ironman with the goal of building into an Ironman. So signed up for Bolton Ironman 70.3 in June just gone. I got myself a coach. I wanted to learn from the best, and still do learn from the best. Alex Woodman, pro triathlete, great guy. Very fortunate to have him in my corner. We sat down, had a little bit of a chat over the phone, and we've been working together ever since, and it's been a complete game changer. Like I say, I'm nowhere sort of at the level of these guys, but the amount of what I've learned so far, and been able to apply myself and figure out about myself and push myself, has been, it's been great. First on the cards for this year was Manchester Marathon in April. Super hot day, but preparation went really well. Most consistent I've been with my running, running 4 days a week. I think in the end, we managed to get up to 60 odd kilometre weeks, alongside obviously the triathlon stuff with the biking and the swimming. When we came in on the day, 3:29, so just a sub 3:30. And pace was really good. I was holding maybe about 4:40 average split up to 32 kilometres. Last 10 kilometres was rough. Same again, last 6 miles of the marathon. You really feel it. But same again, absolutely loved it. And feeling the difference in myself to take 20 minutes off my marathon time, I wanted more of that. But that was the building block. That was always a building block towards Bolton 70.3 this year, the triathlon. I was pretty nervous for that. Preparation went well, but I knew there was more even going into the race start. If I'd have started earlier, I could have built my bike a little bit more volume. I probably lost a little bit of fitness on the running front, coming off the back of the marathon. But it's lessons learned. Like I said, Bolton was unbelievable. The support from the people around, obviously super grateful to have my family, to have Beth there. I'm super grateful to have them in my corner. And yeah, just an absolutely unbelievable day. But the course was a very challenging course. It's a rolling course, rolling run, it's rolling bike, which basically means that, coming off the bike, there was a fair few hills in there. Legs were a little bit shot going into T2. Plenty of hills on the run as well. But my swim, I was over the moon with that to begin with. I went from last October not being able to front crawl at all swallowing quite a bit of water to barely swim a length to then, you know, being consistent enough to be able to swim the distance absolutely fine. Came in with a swim. I wanted anything under 45 minutes. I actually did it in just over 42 minutes, which I was absolutely over the moon with when I got through the swim and I looked at my watch. Yeah, it was a really, really good day out. No technical issues or anything like that. You know, as soon as I finished it, I knew what I wanted next, and I want to do a full Ironman, and that's still the goal. So Ironman Hamburg is booked for next year. That is the June, so these are now going to be the building blocks towards them. I've got one more race for this year, so I'm now 9 weeks out from Challenge Mallorca. That's another 70.3, so another half Ironman race. It's going to be another tough course, probably going to be a little bit warm too. But yeah, just can't wait to get stuck into it. And what I really love about the lifestyle, about what I'm doing right now, don't get me wrong, you know, it's busy fitting around work, but everyone's busy, is, you know, I'm able to be the fittest, best version of myself, sharpest, keeping myself in shape while still being able to enjoy life because of the amount of exercise that I'm doing across my running, my cycling, my swimming, my gym workouts. You know, at one point in my life, I sort of shoehorned myself into just lifting weights, and all I wanted to do was lift as heavy as I could, try and get as big as I could. And then, you know, to a certain point, that didn't fulfill me anymore. You know, I wanted more. You know, that's still important to me. I still want to look good and be in good shape, but also I want to see what my body's capable of and how hard I can sort of push myself on that front. As I said before, I am very, very average in the world of triathlon. This doesn't come easy to me whatsoever, but I love it. I love pushing myself, the marathons, the triathlon, and I just want to see what I can do over this next year and potentially beyond. So yeah, Road to Ironman is on.